Good morning, everyone, and welcome inside the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community today. We are brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing is a locally owned marketing firm who specializes in website design, creating social media ads, and engaging your business online. If your company could benefit from any of that, check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details today. Joining me inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio is my friend Marissa Nemetz. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm really excited to talk to you because, listen, I think everybody knows a real estate agent or a lender or whatever, but you're the real estate agent that helped us sell our house.
Yes.
And we are greatly appreciative of that. Through the 7-year journey of being a real estate agent, and you're going into your 8th year, what is something that's different about the real estate market today that was different 8 years ago?
A lot.
Okay.
We are in a totally different market, and you see those waves go up and down, especially in election years. They always tend to be a little bit different.
Is it an election year? I haven't seen a commercial anywhere.
Yes. So, I mean, just from starting out to now, I would say it is 100% completely different. We are seeing new things that us real estate agents are learning to adapt to as well, as far as commission rates and things like that with with all that good news happening.
Yeah.
We have to, continuously be knowledgeable of what is happening, what we need to do, and what's going to be best for our clients. So just kind of going with the market and, learning new tools and making sure that you're knowledgeable so you can help your clients the best way possible.
It feels like we've been waiting for around about 47 years now for the rates to drop. It feels like it's been promised over and over again. But I mean, obviously, for anybody that's in the housing market or is interested in buying properties, there's always a right and wrong time to do something. But there's always it's kind of fighting that fear when you're in the business on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And you have to wait for that moment. Like, does that make your job almost impossible? Like, how do you navigate those waters?
So what I usually tell people is you date the rate, you marry the house.
Okay.
So if you are looking to buy right now, I would not hesitate. I'm not going to say, interest rates are where they at right now. You can always refinance. And if you find yourself a good lender, which I do have a lot of referrals for lenders, you can also refinance with no cost.
Sure.
So I have a great lender, one of the lenders I work with, and she actually puts you on a list.
You can give a free plug if you want. That's fine.
CMG Financial, Brittany Westover.
Okay.
She is amazing. So she actually puts you on a list. So when rates do drop, you will be the first to know. And if it's your time to refinance, if they've dropped enough, then she'll get you on that list and help you with that refinance.
A lot of the reason the business has changed is because of what happened 4 years ago. You had a pandemic. You had a mass move out of the state of California all throughout the country, and specifically here in Omaha, I felt like that was affecting more than other places.
Yeah.
When it's that high and everybody's overbidding on houses by hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then now everybody's a wait and see moment with the rates waiting to drop, the election, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
How do you balance the client that you're looking to talk to during those different times?
So it all depends, and it all depends on what stage of life that they're in too. So what I would say, so right now what we're seeing is a buyer's market. So right now they do have the negotiating power. With that being said, that's another reason why I say, hey, if you're looking to buy a house, let's do it. Because right now we aren't battling. We aren't seeing crazy multiple offers, battling, cash offers and things like that. So it kind of just all depends on where you are. Especially too, I have a couple investors that I work with. It's a great time for them too. So right now I have a couple that actually is going to be going live here shortly in Beaver Lake. And they bought it, fixing it up. What's difficult and what a great real estate agent needs to do is if you are going to be selling right now, you want to make sure that you're pricing it appropriately.
Sure.
Because even when, 6 months ago, those prices could have been completely different. So looking at the market, I would say definitely making sure your homes are being priced appropriately because you're not seeing that overbidding. You're not seeing you know,
Not seeing underbidding either.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You're seeing more home inspections. You're seeing, you know, all of that stuff, which back in the COVID, it was,
That
I'm
didn't
taking
happen.
this and I
Yeah.
don't care. You know, I
Who
will
cares
deal
if the
with
walls
this
falling
later.
in? Yeah. The home inspection part of it's really interesting,
Yeah.
but I think we're also seeing this surge in real estate investment and house flipping and things like that.
Yes.
If you're working with somebody and they decided to flip a house,
Yep.
and obviously the goal of that is to make as much money as possible, and it's not selling at the price point that they'd originally put it at, what advice do you give to a seller if they're basically waiting for a house to move?
So actually, I'm dealing with one of those right now.
Nice. Okay.
So we had one and we priced it, and it was priced great. I mean, it was actually lower for the market, and it was just not moving, not moving, not moving. They do great work. They don't cut corners, so it's a great house. So what we've kind of tended to do is say, okay, we did lower it a little bit. And then we started getting more showings, took that feedback of what we're seeing from buyers as well. Some things we can change, some things we just can't. You know, floor plans, we can't change.
Yeah.
That's just the way it
Sorry,
is.
there are not 6 bathrooms in this house.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But, you know, we try to take as much feedback that we can and try to put that back in the house and say, okay, yep, we know what you're talking about. We're going to fix that, or, you know, try to at least make it to where it's more, you know, feasible for that particular buyer.
What are some of the reasons that you don't see flips move? Does it seem to be a common occurrence? Is it consistent with the rest of the market? Is it a different market? How do you see that?
Right. So it all depends, and area has a lot to do with it as well.
Sure.
So right now I have one in Blair, and it just depends. That area can slow way down. You know, you're not right in the heart of Omaha or one of your busy, you know, cities, which that I think probably has the most impact on investors' homes not moving, is if, you know, if they're not in a super crazy desirable area,
Yeah.
that can definitely take effect.
Well, and that's something you got to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of too, right? Because
Yes.
Gretna's ever expanding. You've mentioned Beaver Lake, but you call home right
Yep.
now is a growing area, and it feels like every time I'm down around that area, there's new construction going on
Always.
somewhere. How, like, it obviously matters for the person, but when you're talking about picking up or maybe even doing an open house somewhere, how do you dictate, okay, I want to spend my time in this area during this time of the month or this time of the year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Or is it so a scarce of a market right now because there's not a ton of houses on the market that you just kind of have to take what you get?
So I always say right now my business is mostly based out of Cass County.
Okay.
Just because I do know, and I get a lot of referrals, that is my hometown. So I do know a lot of people. But like I said, I do business all over. I mean, I went as far as Beatrice, you know, showing houses. So what I try and do is, again, it comes back down to my clients and what they are specifically looking for. You know, if you want to market an area, you definitely can. That's definitely something. If you want to focus on a certain neighborhood, putting all your baskets, you know, there and all your resources in that. I kind of just like to go all over. Whatever my client comes with me with, or if I'm listing a house, you know, you just have to make sure that you know that market. And a lot like Sarpy, Cass, they're kind of all, you know, kind of the same. It's not a crazy difference. Now I will look at like Lincoln and Omaha can be different, obviously, because those are your biggest
Completely
cities.
different markets, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So kind of just seeing where I'm going to be at for that client.
From a real estate agent standpoint, you see all the houses being built in Papillion and Gretna and Elkhorn right now. Is that like a mouth starts salivating, we need to dig our claws into this thing? Or is it a look of, hey, it could be an oversaturated market and maybe we stay away from that type
Right.
of thing?
Yes and no. I mean, those are growing cities. So, I mean, you have all of your stuff there. You know, if you don't want to be out in the country and you're more wanting to be in the city, those are perfect locations. They're growing. The school districts are growing.
Yeah.
You have up and coming jobs, you know? So it just kind of, like I said, all depends on where you want to be. I'm not city. I rather be in the country.
Yeah.
But, you know, some other people may love the city and not want anything to do with the country. So
we're catching up with Marissa Nemetz from Keller Williams Real Estate here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio. I want to talk to you about entrepreneurship because it's very much embedded into your family. You're a real estate agent. You own your own business. Your husband, Jeremy, owns his own business.
Yes.
What is and that's a relatively new business. You guys just started doing it a couple years ago. Yeah. Can you explain what your husband does and how you guys kind of got into that industry?
Oh, okay. So yes, so he does.
Podcast's only half hour long. Just keep that in mind.
So he does horizontal directional boring. So he has been in the business and worked for a great company for 19 years. And it, came to the point in our lives where do we keep, doing this for someone else, or should we, dive deep? You're knowledgeable, you're great at what you do. Should we take a stab at doing it on our own? And we did. And so what he primarily does is anything that needs to be bored underground. So you have your water lines, your sewer lines, your communication lines, gas lines. He does trenching as well. Anything that goes in the ground, he puts it in. So
legally,
yes.
Make sure that he's not a hitman.
Yes, no, legally, yes. So that has been a great process. It gives us a new experience as well, working together, which that never happened before.
There's a lot to unpack there because there was a lot of deep breaths and a lot of pauses and explanation of when you guys decided to do this. You guys have two small children. Yep. You mentioned it. You have a steady income for 19 years, and then you decided to take a giant leap. A lot of the things that we discuss in this room is based around fear and reasons not to do things. When you're having this conversation about going out and doing it on your own, what was the biggest reason not to? What was the biggest driving force to do it?
The biggest reason not to was that fear of, oh my gosh, I'm commission-based. He's going to be,
commission-based, basically.
Commission-based pretty much too. It was probably the scariest thing that we've ever done.
Sure.
You risk a lot of factors in doing it, but then I also told him I knew how talented he was. I was kind of the one that was like, you're doing this.
Sure.
We have to do it. I know how talented you are. Let's do it. It was very nerve-wracking. He was very, very scared. Sure. And it kind of took, what we kind of did was we started it as he was still working at this previous company, and then kind of winged that out. And as soon as we were like, nope, it hit full force and it hit fast.
Yeah.
We were like, we're done. We're going after this, and we haven't looked back since. So
what has been the biggest hurdle as two entrepreneurs and working in different businesses?
Yeah.
What's the best part about being your own boss?
The best part, I will go with the best part first. The best part about being your own boss is your flexibility. I say that now, but I think we work more now than we did with any other company.
Me and Aaron were just having this conversation last night.
Yes. But it's on your own time, and it's for you.
Yeah.
There's things that we couldn't do before that we are able to do now. There's things that we're able to do before that we can't do now as well. Because you have to treat that as a business. You have to treat yourself that you almost like you do have a boss,
right.
I'm not going to say the worst, but the most challenging part that we've had, I would say, I don't have employees, but my husband's company does.
Sure.
They have been absolutely amazing. We have worked with some great people. I would say that's probably the biggest challenge, though, is just making sure that we keep them happy. We want to make sure that as long as they're happy, it keeps us happy. As much as we can do for them, since they're giving back to us as well and helping us, that's what we want to do.
You don't have employees under the real estate business, but you are a part of a team. How much does what you do with Keller Williams help your business and vice versa?
I think being on a team has helped tremendously. I probably would not be where I'm at without my team member, or without my team lead, I should say. She's been in the business for over 30 years, and her knowledge and her drive, I think, has really, really helped me to become where I'm at today, for sure.
Do me a favor, hop in a time machine with me, go back 8 years. What's one piece of advice you'd give yourself starting off about real estate 8 years ago that you didn't know then that you know today?
Oh, goodness sakes. Stick with it. It's challenging, but it'll be worth it.
That is the most common answer we get to that question, by the way.
It will be worth it. It was very, very hard starting off, but it's all worth it. It's hard, but it's worth it.
What does growth look like? Because it's not like you're going to hire a bunch of employees, obviously.
Yeah.
When you're talking about growth as a real estate agent in the Omaha and surrounding communities, what does that look like?
So I think it's going to vary for everybody. Growth for me right now, I pride where I can be with my kids. I can go to every sporting event. That's my goal in life.
All 5,000 of them?
Yep.
Yeah.
But still being able to, have that second income or help, bring in that second income. I would say, I think it's going to be different for everybody, but growth for me is not how many houses I can do a year. Growth for me is, how can I help my family? In what ways that will, look like. Is it, selling more houses to help my family? Is it being there for my kids to help my family, or being there for my husband? Because I do run his side of the company as well. So,
what a slacker he is, huh?
I know.
What about in that industry? Because I think they've officially changed the state flower of Nebraska to a construction cone. It feels like we're seeing stuff being put underground all times when we talked about growing communities. What does growth look like in that industry?
I think it's going to be definitely more underground. I think, you're going to see a lot of the aerial stuff just due to storms and due to the climate that we're in and everything. I think a lot of it is going to be starting to move everything underground, which is fine by me because that'll keep us busy.
Yeah. What is the biggest hurdle that industry faces right now? Is it the extremes of the weather outside?
No. Well, for my husband, not really. We can work in the winter. It just depends on the frost line, So, we can work all year round. It just depends on...
Digging cold ground is harder, though.
Yes, it is. It is. It's more challenging. I think the biggest hurdle right now is actually probably all the other companies that you have to compete with, too, because there's a lot out there.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you are going with a company that, has the insurance, that has the bonds and all of that and the experience.
What are some of the most commonly asked questions you guys get when you're talking about boring underground?
Oh, gosh.
Is it the insurance portion of it?
No.
Really? Okay.
Actually, no.
That's
I don't know if we've ever...
Yeah.
Our bigger contracts, we obviously show our COI, our certificate of insurance, but...
I probably stopped that question from being asked.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, especially like our homeowners or, things like that, a lot of it's cost because it can be all over the board. Some people, charge less. Some people, are charge a lot more. It just kind of depends on what's going in, how many foot, how much footage we're putting underground and that kind of thing. I think a lot of the question is how much is this going to cost me? For homeowners, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. For somebody that's looking at possibly getting into the investment side of real estate, what's some of the first piece of advice that you give to those folks?
I would say you need, depending on where you're going to be, if you're wanting to pay cash for these homes, what is your what's your cost? Like, where do you want to be at? Do we want to do, or homes that are, cost more to begin with, but you can sell more, or, the lesser, I'm not going to say the lesser the house, the more work, but it is going to take a lot more.
Often than not, yeah.
Yep. Or find yourself a great lender that, has, great rates and stuff like that too for your investment. Investments are a little bit different when it comes to loans, but just find a great lender who knows what they're talking about.
We're catching up with Marissa Nemetz of Keller Williams Real Estate here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio. I want to talk about you personally for a second.
Yeah.
You own multiple businesses.
Yeah.
You're a mom. You're a wife. You do a ton of stuff in the community. You seems like you answer your call anytime somebody has a question about real estate. How do you do work-life balance? How do you separate all those different things that you are on a daily basis and be successful with it?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Some days are easier than others. Summertime is probably our hardest because I'm busy and Jeremy's busy. So I kind of try and put all of my energy into my businesses in the summer when we're most busy. So now, obviously, when it comes into fall, real estate can slow down a little bit. And being an election year, like I said, it always slows down a little bit. So now I can definitely focus more on my kids.
Yeah.
Now that they're in school and sports, it's nice. I can make it to all of them, all their events. And then also be able to, now that Jeremy, he's crazy busy, I can focus on his side of the company. So I still do both, but I kind of go through what season I'm in, kind of seeing what's more what's busier than others.
Yeah,
So.
sure. And we've talked about hiring people, and that seems to be one of the biggest fears we talk about in this room because you're taking your image and your business and the way you feed your family and handing it off to somebody else and saying, we're entrusting you with this.
Yeah.
How big of a struggle has that been for you guys through 2 years with the boring company, and has it gotten easier over time?
I think it's definitely gotten easier over time. We had a couple hurdles, and I think the biggest thing is seeing who works for you. Some people, this might not be the job for them, and we have to go through those struggles a little bit before finding, but we have a great crew right now. It's 4 guys and Jeremy, and they're all absolutely amazing. They are such hard workers. All they want to do is work, which is amazing.
And this is a better question for him, but I think I trust you to speak for him.
Okay.
Is the ultimate goal to maybe step back and hire a crew and just kind of run the business end of things? Or when you have as much experience as he does and he's kind of the voice of the crew, to always kind of be out in the field?
I will say Jeremy, I don't think he can never not be in the field.
Sure.
He's such I'm not going to say workaholic, but he's such a
he loves what he does.
Yeah, labor intense kind of person that I think will always be in the field. I think the goal being year 2, I think right now is we're just trying to focus on
Still
building
very early.
building the business and things like that. I think eventually, yes, we would love to have somebody be able to, run a crew. I know we don't want to get super big or corporate or anything like that. We want to keep it a small business. But yeah, like I said, he's always working.
Sure. You've mentioned that a couple times. You're from Beaver Lake. You appreciate being from a small town. You appreciate a small town community. How big of a deal is it for you guys to be business owners in the place that you call home?
It's a huge deal. We love it. We try to get involved in supporting all of the school events, sponsor. We love doing it all. And now that we can, it's the best feeling ever. I mean, if we can sponsor anything to do with our small town or anything like that.
You talked about the referrals that you've gotten, but what has the response from the community been like for both businesses? Because Beaver Lake and Plattsmouth is a very tight-knit community.
Yes. Oh, great. Everybody has been absolutely amazing. They post, if anybody, Jeremy's business is a little bit harder because it's kind of more.
It's very unique.
Yeah. But we've done jobs in Beaver Lake, and all of our friends and family have supported us so much where they, make sure to tag us and everything if they see a post for mine and Jeremy's business. It seems like every time someone posts on, a local page or Plattsmouth, prior page or whatever about real estate, someone's always tagging my name, which is absolutely amazing.
Do you do any kind of networking or community event type things like that?
Yeah. So we participate in like Realtor Ring Day. We go to Hy-Vee and always ring the bell.
Sure.
That's as a team. We do a lot of team events. So we have a red day where we go and help the community. So we actually walk down up the street, or this year we walked down the streets, pick up trash, things like that. Anything that we can do to help. We do coat drives, meal drives.
Very cool.
All of that kind of stuff. So
yeah, we've mentioned a couple times you're a mom as well. How much do your kids know what mom and dad do?
Oh, they're full on.
Sure.
They're full on. And I would say they're more full on.
Knowing your kids, I would have been surprised if that wasn't the answer.
Lane's welding on our trailers.
Oh, awesome.
He's in there
and he's
with supervision.
10 now?
He's 12.
12. Oh my God. Life flies by.
Yeah, he's very much involved. Both of my kids are. Bailey's out there changing lights with
No,
Jeremy.
she's 6 months old. She can't do that.
I know, right? I know. So yeah, they're very much involved.
If you weren't a real estate agent, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't a real estate agent, oh gosh. Well, who knows? I started off in the medical field, and then I did hair, and then I did real estate. So
Sure.
It kind of all, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Is there
honestly.
anything in life that maybe you guys, when you have a new business, it's probably hard to start looking at something else, but is there anything you personally haven't done that you'd maybe like to dip your toe into?
I don't think so. I love what I do.
Sure.
I love helping people. You get very emotionally attached to your clients. And just like you, you guys bought and you had
we
kids.
Love our house. Yeah,
and it was so fun hanging out with I love hanging
I don't
out
love
with
that my
people's
3-year-old
kids.
flooded our bathroom and our ceiling is currently open getting
no.
drywall done, but we love the house.
Yeah. I love being able to go through the journey no matter what stage of life they're in. And you really get attached to your clients. You do.
What's the biggest hurdle facing the real estate industry right now?
I would say the biggest hurdle is those downtimes probably, and just trying to reassure your clients, hey, right now, we've had better rates. I think the rates right now, everyone's worried about the rates, when we saw that 2%, that was very abnormal,
Sure.
So
What do you mean it wasn't going to last forever?
No.
Yeah.
Will it ever get back down there? I personally don't think so. Like I said, that was a very rare occurrence, but
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, you date the rate, marry the house. So
Yeah.
you can always refinance.
What's the best part about being a real estate agent?
Oh, I just said it. I love being involved with clients. I love being able to see, first-time home buyers, families. And there's also times where, I help people that are in unfortunate situations. If there's a death and it's an estate sale, that's a very, very emotional time. And just being there and being able to take off any stress I can on all of the clients. That's my biggest goal, is to make their stress less stressful.
If somebody's looking to buy or sell a house, where can they get a hold of you at?
You can call me or text me, 402-709-9780. Reach out to me on Facebook. I'm on there. You can do my personal page or my business page.
We tagged your business page on the post. So get a hold of Marissa there if you're looking to buy or sell a house anywhere in the Cass County area, and she can work in Omaha as well. We're kind of hitting that part where we like to shut it down for the day. Is there anything about you or either one of your businesses that we haven't mentioned yet?
No, you nailed it.
If you want to work with Marissa and her team, get a hold of her. If you're looking to learn more about the real estate industry, she'd be more than happy to walk you through the process as well. Thanks for coming and doing this at such short notice. I greatly appreciate it. We are looking for a guest tomorrow. Our guest today and our guest tomorrow both rescheduled on us. So if you'd like to come on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, please get a hold of me. We'd love to talk to you tomorrow. Regardless, we'll be back at 11. With maybe it'll just be me talking about what's going on in the Omaha area, but we hope regardless. You join us tomorrow at 11 o'clock here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio. We'll see you tomorrow at 11.